Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie, and I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts, and fall is in full bloom. See all the gorgeous reds behind me? Red is my favorite color. Red is fiery and passionate, just like me. And today we're going to go back to Carl Jung. And today's topic is Carl Jung's synchronicity. Now, if you're not familiar with the word synchronicity, it's also called or known as quantum mechanics or quantum entanglement. What is synchronicity? Well, synchronicity is when simultaneous occurrence of two meaningful events that are not causally connected. That's what he coined synchronicity as. And I will give you examples of that. It's the simultaneous occurrence of two meaningful events that are not causally connected. He saw this synchronicity as a connection, a casual connection to the material world. For instance, and this is a perfect example, say that you've been thinking of your friend all day long, you're thinking of your friend, and then the phone rings, and you haven't talked to her in years, and who is it? It's the friend that you were thinking about. That's synchronicity. That is an example of synchronicity. These string of events register as meaningful to you. Personal meaning is the key to synchronicity, okay? Now, if your friend that you hadn't talked to in a while wasn't really on your mind, it didn't have a deep meaning to you, it wouldn't have any impact on you. You see what I'm saying? Because your friend, you had a very deep connection. It's all about connection and synchronicity. It's all about connection. It defines time and space, okay? It's like you reached out over time and space to your friend because you're so deeply connected, and you kind of like passed signals so she knew to call you. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just some haphazard coincidence, that happened. It was something that reached out of time and space because of your deep connection. She knew that you needed to talk to her. That's what synchronicity is all about. It's going to have an impact that gives you goosebumps. One of these like wow moments, like something out of this world. I have to give you examples of it. Like say, for instance, that you were going on a vacation and you got very sick, you got pneumonia. So you couldn't go to your Caribbean cruise, or something like that. And you later found out that the cruise ship, a major storm came up, a hurricane, and the boat sank and everyone died. Now, you could say that the universe made you sick, or something happened that prevented you from going on that cruise, because if you went on that cruise, you would have died. You see what I'm saying? So, Another example is like the universe is always giving you a sign. For instance, here's another example. If your father loved, let's say, blue balloons, he always got your son blue balloons and you blue balloons on your birthday. Now, say it's the anniversary of your father's death today, and you live way out in the country and there's no houses beside you, and you're mowing the yard, and all of a sudden a blue balloon falls from nowhere, falls out of the sky and touches your head. Now, that's synchronicity. You could say that was your father realizing your sadness and your need to get in touch with him. And that's what made the balloon. That's why the balloon touched you on the anniversary of your father's death. Reincarnation. That's synchronicity. Reincarnation. I don't know how many people believe in reincarnation. I do. Let's just say that I could use that same example. Let's say that say that your mother died before you got married, and your mother's dream was to see you get married. That was her dream, to see her daughter get married, and you two were very close. Remember, it's all about the deep connection, synchronicity, when things are in sync. But it defies time and space. Remember that. It defies that. Now, on your wedding day, you're feeling very sad because your mom can't be there. Now, say your mother loved birds, like I do. I feed the birds. I love robins, blue jays. Say she particularly loved blue jays, okay? And when you're walking down the aisle, a blue jay flies into the church and perches himself or herself, the blue jay self. The blue jay perches itself on the altar as you're walking down the aisle, and you're crying because you believe that that's your mother reincarnated as a blue jay and flew into the church through the open windows. You know how churches have open windows and everything when the hot summer and everything. Not all of them have AC. And you see that blue jay there and you go, oh my God, Mom, you're here. That's synchronicity. When I was looking this subject up, I got goosebumps. Oh my God, Jesus, look at my legs. Like I don't know, you can't see, but you see my skin? I get goosebumps because this stuff is real. This stuff is really heavy stuff. Synchronicity is really magic. It's magic. And now there's a school of thought from other, I don't know if Carl Jung believed this, but I've been watching like a half dozen videos this morning on synchronicity that they're saying it's magic and that we have the power to conjure it up. So in other words, if you really want something or someone, you can, you can synchronize yourself to have that, Like for instance, it's a bad example, but with my psychologist, Dr. Richard Geis, when I was in marriage counseling, my marriage counselor said, you need to get your own psychologist because you're wasting too much time here talking about your own personal problems. And I said, but I want a psychologist who will go out with me and, go to the park with me and have coffee with me and, call me up and, love me. And he goes, 0, 0, 0, that's never going to happen. And then one day I walked into therapy and I found him, Dr. Richard Geist. I found a psychologist that was everything that I was zoning in for. Of course, he broke my heart, but you see what I'm saying? I found someone that I kind of like willed him to be. I kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It was kismet. Did you ever have that experience where you meet someone and it's like, this person was everything you were looking for. Like you willed them to you, you know? Without you even being consciously aware of it, you kind of like, you willed that person to you, you know? Some might call it fate, you know? Here's another example. When my son was leaving Franciscan's Children's Hospital, he spent 2 years there for traumatic brain injury because he had to learn everything over because he got pneumococcal meningitis, which ate away big chunks of his brain. He was leaving to go into another facility, a residence for people neurologically challenged, like my son. At the same time he was leaving, my minister's daughter was just entering Franciscan's for a benign brain tumor, but it's still, she needed brain surgery even though it was benign because it was growing in her brain, you know. It wasn't cancerous, but it was doing irreparable damage to her. So just in that passing, and my husband calls up and talks to the minister, Weldon, and tells him, my son just got out, you know, like a day or two before his daughter Franny went in. And since that phone call, that minister was, you know, very good friends, helped us out when my husband lost his job, paid all our utility bills. Someone could say, well, it was fate. But I think it was a lot more than fate. It was this synchronicity. So, look up quantum entanglement too. When two parties come together, they interact. Like they dance, they mesh with each other. They're entangled with each other. That's quantum entanglement. That's just another term for synchronicity. And they're really, really connected. And even if one of them goes far out in outer space, just lands on the moon and stays there forever, it doesn't matter because time and space can't separate them. This is what synchronicity is. Time and space can't separate two very connected beings, or quantum entanglement. So it's like when you think about someone that you're that connected with, you know, they'll reach out to you. Like I use, you know, the balloon with the deceased father, or the bird with the deceased mother coming in the church, or, you know, you think about your friend and you're really down that day and you think a lot about her and the phone rings and it's your friend, you know. Or there's just like, you know, a certain number you play in the lottery. You ever done that? Someone will say, well, why did you pick that number? And they'll say, well, that number was the day that my son was born, and my son died, and I played the day he was born, and I was in poverty. I was going to be homeless, and he gave me back life. I won the lottery. You know, that's what it is. It's not just these mere coincidences, you know, that you can just look it up. I mean, I could do like an hour of it really on synchronicity, and It's very, very fascinating. But I hope that you believe in a higher power. It doesn't have to be God, okay? You can be spiritual and just believe in the power of the universe. But you do have to believe in something, you know? And you do have to feel a deep connection with someone. You've got to believe in something and feel the connections, because we're all of us are connected. All plants, all living beings, all animals, all human nature, all humans are connected. All right? So the next time you see a sign, know that it isn't just coincidence. You know, if you see the color red, it's me. I'm really smiling at you, giving you like that extra little nudge when you're depressed or something. All right, until next time.